Hello, Grand Rapids. This is Mark Washington, City Manager, and it's good to be with you as we prepare for this wonderful time of the year, this most wonderful time of the year. Hopefully you're enjoying time with your family and enjoying many of the activities that you can experience in our city, whether it's skating at Rosa Parks Circle or experiencing a play or musical, or perhaps you've even seen the Nutcracker here at the Voss Place. There's much to do in our city. During this time of the year, most people reflect on what has happened in the past year and plan for what they're going to do in the coming year. And our City Commission has been doing exactly that. We recently had a workshop to reflect on our past accomplishments relative to our strategic plan, as well as looking at horizon and future issues. And you can see some of that work if you visit the website and you search for our strategic plan. There's a list of achievements as well as some topics that we'll be addressing in the years to come, and I will be asking staff to plan for our fiscal strategy regarding the funding appropriations for those topics in the future. The City Commission has been busy recently. First of all, let me congratulate all of those recently elected and sworn-in commissioners as well as other elected officials. There were 4 new library commissioners, 3 city commissioners, and the mayor were recently elected and sworn in, as well as our new comptroller. And so I want to congratulate all of them, look forward to serving for and with them in the next year. The City Commission recently spent a lot of time this past Tuesday talking about improvement in our parks. And the Parks Director, David Marquardt, talked about the Parks Master Plan, the Strategic Master Plan, and the River for All concept and the 6 opportunity sites along the Grand River. And with a vision of restoring the rapids in the river, for which we were so affectionately named in our city, and making sure that we can honor the historical identity of our city. Some places we're known as Furniture City, Beer City, but we also need to embrace the identity of the rapids and activating the river and making sure that we appropriately honor the past. That river is so important to the indigenous community here, but also it was part of establishing our industrial identity as Furniture City as well. And so there's just so much that can happen, but there's a future with our river, as we think it will bring a lot of attention both across the state as well as nationally for people to come and experience Grand Rapids as a destination. And so we are grateful that the City Commission was able to adopt to revise the Parks Master Plan to incorporate those elements of developing those 6 opportunity sites along the river corridor. We also discussed the millage, both the current millage and future millage. The Parks Director gave an update on some of the performance outcomes from the recent activity of the past year, but also we talked about the guidelines for the use of the millage that recently passed in the 2019 election. Over 70% of Grand Rapidians improved an increase to the parks millage with making it evergreen, and that increase will allow for at least an additional $5 million to be invested in park operations, pools, as well as programming. And so we are grateful to the residents for improving that resource and that funding, and we'll make sure that we continue to be good stewards of our park and park operations. The Commission also approved the implementation of our awarding of the contract for a sidewalk snow plow removal program. We will pilot in 2020 an effort. Not only does our city employees do a great job of keeping our streets plowed, but also we're looking at other ways to improve mobility and pedestrian mobility in the winter months, and we are going to pilot the removal of snow among 100 miles of sidewalk in our city system, and we look forward to a good pilot. The police department continues to focus on making our community safe, and our police chief briefed the Public Safety Committee on the use of technology, or enhancing the use of technology in the police department to potential look at some aerial support from drones to increase our ability to respond to major crimes as well as prevent some. And so we're looking forward to the continued development of that discussion, as well as I had a briefing with the police chief this morning, and he let me know that the overall crime rate, both for Part 1 and Part 2 crimes, have decreased. Now, having said that, we know while the overall crime rate has decreased, there has been some increased activity in gun violence. And so we continue to focus on creating more awareness and doing what we can to take guns off the street, whether that is illegal guns or whether people are inappropriately using replica weapons. And I want to thank our commissioners for passing a responsible ordinance that prevents people from inappropriately using replica weapons, particularly if they're removing the orange safety tip or brandishing or flourishing it in a threatening way. And so lots of stuff happening with our city. I hope that you are, again, enjoying this wonderful time of the year, and I look forward to talking with you in the new year. Happy holidays.